Hey everyone, Mr. Montgomery again. Today we're on page 147. We're going to review Unit 3. Okay, so we're going to go through at least one problem from each section that we did, just to refresh our minds before we have any quizzes or anything. Alright, so let's start with set A at the very top. Okay, I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through this little example problem to refresh our memories. So, all they're really showing us is counting on using a number line. So don't forget that our first number is our starting number. And we start at 10, right? Because that's our first number. Our second number tells us how many jumps. And you can even count if you end up drawing on your number line, you can count all the bumps to make sure you made the right amount of jumps. And you can see they did kind of the same thing at the top here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jumps. So they jumped 8 times, so they did it correctly, and they landed on 18. So this number line shows us that 10 plus 8 gives us 18. Alright, now I want you guys to try number 1 on your own. We have 7 plus 6. Just don't forget that the first number is your start number. The second number is your jump number. I'll give you guys a few moments to try this one on your own. Alright, if you're still working on number 1, that's okay. Pause the video and take your time. But let's go over this together to make sure that we're using the number line the correct way. So our first number is 7, so we find 7 on our number line, and it's right there. And then we make 6 jumps. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I stop, and I landed on 13. So 7 plus 6 is 13. Okay, let's go down to set B. So for set B, since it's very similar to set A, I will not be going over the answer to number 2, but I will be checking your workbooks at the end of class if you're in my classroom. If you're a student that's watching this and you're not in my classroom, well, that's up to your teacher. Okay, so you guys may or may not remember that we went through a section where we learned how to make our own number line using a blank line. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to look at this first number right here, which is 7, and we're going to kind of ignore this bottom one here. We're going to ignore that so we can practice building our own. And we're just going to count on from 7 to make our own number line. Now, I like to make little tally marks like this over top of every number, so it helps me keep track of my jumps a little bit easier. So after 7, we have 8. After 8, we have 9. So we're just counting on one at a time to make our number line. That's all we're doing. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay? So that should be enough, going up to 13. And what we're going to do is, now that we made a number line, now we can solve it using the number line. So our first number is 7, so we start at 7. And then our second number is 5, so we make 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I landed on 12. So now we know that 7 plus 5 is 12. Alright, so for number 2, try this one on your own. Make your own number line. I'll tell you what, I'll help you guys with the number line a little bit. Just make sure you start with 4, okay, because that's your start number. And we're going to keep on going. 5. After that, we have 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, 10, 11. We're going to have to go a little bit more. It's okay if it goes off the side a little bit. 12 and 13. That should be good. So you should at least get your number line all the way up to 13. And now on your own, I want you to solve it. Okay? So go ahead and, after you build your number line, solve 4 plus 9. Okay, if you're still working on this, that's okay. Make sure you pause the video and take your time. If not, well, we're going to keep on moving on. Just remember that when you make your own number line, you're counting on by 1. This may or may not be on your quiz. So make sure you can make your own number line. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next page. We're going to go to page 148. Alright, here's what page 148 looks like. This is what you should be seeing in your workbooks as well. And I love that they give us a ton of practice problems, so we'll do 1 or 2 together, and then you'll do the rest on your own. So let's go over set C together really quick. This is when we were using doubles facts to help us find out doubles plus facts. Okay, so right here they're showing us, you know what? If we want to figure out 8 plus 7, we could think about 7 plus 7. And we know 7 plus 7 is 14. So it's very close, except the 8, this 8 is just 1 bigger. So if we know 7 plus 7 is 14, we just have to think, what is 1 bigger than 14? That's 15. Now, again, guys, if this mental math trick is too much, don't worry about it, because you can always use the number line. I don't care what method you use, as long as you get the right answer, and you're not getting your answers from someone else in the classroom. So if you need the number line to solve every single one of these addition problems, that's fine. Take your time and use the number line then. But if this little trick helps you, feel free to use this little doubles fact trick. Okay, so let's try number 3. Okay, go ahead and do number 3. It has 2 addition sentences. We have first our doubles fact, which is 5 plus 5. And then after that, solve 6 plus 5. All right, I will give you all a few moments to solve those 2 problems. All right, if you're still working on those 2 addition facts, then pause the video and take your time. But if you're all done, let's go over these answers really quick. So first we need to solve our doubles fact, which is 5 plus 5. We can, of course, use our number line to solve this. So our first, remember when we see our addition facts top to bottom, we still solve the same way. The first number, or the top number, is our start number, right? It shows us we're starting the number line. And then our second number is our jumps. So we start on 5, and then we have 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what did I land on? I landed on 10. So now I know that 5 plus 5 is 10. So I can put 10 right below here. And for 6 plus 5, we can just think, what is 1 more than 10? 1 more than 10 is 11. And remember, we were thinking this way because 6 is 1 more than 5, right? Because our 5 moved over here. But this other 5, it didn't want to go with it. But the 6 did. And 6 is just 1 bigger. So 1 more than 10 is 11. Of course, you can just use the number line. That's fine too. If we want to use a number line, look at the first number. It's a 6. We start on 6. And the second number is a 5, so we make 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I land on 11, and what did we already have here? We already had 11. So we know that we definitely did that problem correctly. Alright, so let's go over to number 4. I'm going to let you guys try number 4 on your own again really quick, and then we'll go over it together. Remember, do 8 plus 8 first, and then solve 8 plus 9. Okay, if you're still working on number 4, pause the video. Just hit the space bar and the video will pause right away. Then when you're all set, hit play. Alright, let's solve 8 plus 8. So we look at our first number, it's an 8. That's where we're going to start, right? So we start on 8. And then our second number, well, it's an 8 again. So it tells us how many jumps, and we're going to make 8 jumps. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I land on 16. So 8 plus 8 is 16. Write that right below. Remember when we have our addition sentences written from top to bottom? We always write below this line under here. We never write next to it. Always below it. Okay, so now that we know 8 plus 8 is 16, 8 plus 9, well, that's just one more, so one more than 16 is 17. And of course, you can check on number line 2 if you want. Start at 8, because that's our first number, and then 9 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And land on 17. We got the same answer either way. So of course, just use what works best for you. Now what I would like you to do completely on your own, I'm not going to give you guys the answers for these, is number 5 and number 6. Go ahead and complete all of number 5, which is the doubles fact and the near doubles, and then complete number 6, which has its own doubles fact and a near doubles as well. Except these are actually 2 bigger. Okay, so just be careful with that. Go ahead and try those 2 on your own. Okay, now guys, I'm going to kind of move along now because I don't want there to be too long of a pause here. So I understand if you're not done yet, make sure you pause the video, okay, for if you're still working on numbers 5 and 6. But if you're all done, we're going to move on to set D, where I might have something similar like this on a quiz, but I'm not going to have you guys go through all these little tedious steps. I'm not a huge fan of this method, but we will absolutely go over it. Okay, so what we did here with these 10 frames was they had us draw all of these extra circles, right? Because we would always start off with one color, which was usually that top number. So they gave us 8 yellow circles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 yellow circles. And then what they want us to do was finish drawing more circles that went with the bottom number. So we had 6 on the bottom, so they made 6 red circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But we make sure that we completely fill up the 10 frame first. And that can make it a little bit easier to solve an addition sentence sometimes. And then we can kind of make like a whole different addition number sentence using these new numbers, because we just took the same numbers but then just made it look different. That's all we're doing. So we can see here that the 10 frame is filled, so we have 10, right? Then underneath we have 1, 2, 3, 4 red circles, which is where they came with 10 plus 4. We're still using the same number of dots for 10 plus 4 and 8 plus 6. It just looks different. And then we can add these together. 0 and 4 is 4. And the 1 just falls on down. And it makes 14. Because there's nothing underneath the 1. So you have nothing to add it with. It just falls on down. And so if 10 plus 4 is 14, then that means that 8 plus 6 has to be 14. Alright, so whatever answer we got for the 10 plus fact has to be the same answer for our original number sentence, because we're just using the same number of dots. That's it. So what I'm going to do for you guys with number 7 is I am going to help you finish up this 10 frame. But you need to do the bottom 2 addition facts on your own. And I'm not going to give you the answers for these. I'm going to check them, though, after I collect them at the end of class. So our top number 7, and we can see that we have 7 yellow dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we need to draw 8 more dots, starting at this bottom row. So go ahead and draw with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now this makes 10 plus 5 more. So now you can use this picture to help you. So go ahead and solve 10 plus 5. And then just remember, whatever answer you get, it must be the same for 7 plus 8. So go ahead and do that one completely on your own. Okay, if you're still working on number 7, you feel free to pause the video as always. Okay, but we're going to move on to the next page. We're going to go to page 149. Okay, here is set E. I'm sure you all remember when we had to think to ourselves, are we working with a doubles fact, where we're taking the same number twice and adding it? Or are we working with a near doubles fact, where it's, just one different on one of the numbers, might be one more or one less? That's a near doubles fact. And of course, when we were dealing with stuff like this, we could also think to ourselves, you know what? Maybe I want to use the mental math doubles fact. way of solving for near doubles, or maybe I like using a 10 frame, or you know what, maybe I just want to use a number line. That's fine too. So instead of all these things on the side here, because they want you to circle which way you want to solve each problem, I'm not going to have you guys worry about this. You're going to use whatever method works for you, okay? So don't worry about circling any of these. I want you to use the method that works best for you to solve these addition sentences. Okay? I'll tell you what. How about try number 8 on your own? We'll go over number 8 together, okay? And then we'll worry about number 9 after that. But right now, just work on number 8, and we'll go over it together, see which way you might have wanted to use to solve this. All right, as always, if you're still working on number 8, pause the video, but if not, we're going to go over it together. I don't know about you guys, but I really, really love using my number lines because they're just always there. So I could think of 2 ways I could like to solve number 8. One of them is definitely being a number line and counting on. So if you don't have a number line, you can draw one with me. Making a number line is one of those nice and quick, easy things we can always do to help us solve any equation. Alright, so we have 8 plus 4. Well, all we got to do is look at our starting number, which is 8. That's where we're going to start. And then we're going to look at our second number, which is 4. So we take 4 jumps. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We land on 12. So now we know that 8 plus 4 is 12. One other way I could suggest that you might want to solve this would be to use a 10 frame. Now we can make one on our own really quick by just making a rectangle. Draw 4 lines going down. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to start by putting 8 dots on the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, make that one color. And then I'll make 4 more, and I'll fill up the whole 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, you definitely need to write out a whole new number sentence that says 10 plus 2 equals the answer. I'm not going to sit here and preach that, guys. I'm not going to sit here and say that you must rewrite a whole new number sentence, because to me, it's kind of silly. If you're putting the effort out there to draw the 10 frame, use it to your advantage, and just count all the circles you have all together. You already have the picture out there, use the picture to help you. Why not? Right? So we know we already have 10 up here, and then we just count on to figure out the total. So 10, 11, 12. So we got the same answer, right? We got 12 up here, and we got 12 again. Well, 12 dots in our 10 frame. All right? So go ahead and try number 9 on your own. Use any method you would like. You can use draw your own 10 frame if you want. You can use a number line if you want. If you like using doubles facts and near doubles facts to help you solve it, you can use that as well. So I'll give you guys a quick moment. Solve this on your own. All right. If you're still working on number 9, of course, pause the video. Then you can hit play. But guys, that's it. That's it. The end of our review day. Tomorrow we will be having a quiz. And make sure that you put your name on top of this page and put your workbook on the back table. I will check it at the end of the day. Just make sure that everything is good, that you're actually doing the work, that you're trying your hardest. That's all I ever want to see. All right. But if you have any questions, please make sure you ask me. I will, of course, do everything I can to help you out. But that's it. So I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you have a great day.